Hey guys. Okay. I'm gonna wait to see who comes on. Lord have mercy. Maybe I can get y'all higher so they don't have to look at my double chin the whole time. I'm so funny. Okay, maybe that'll stay. Hey, let me know when you're hopping on. If you're watching the replay, let me know. Let me know. Hey guys. Hey everybody. Okay. I'm gonna let people filter on for just a second. I don't know what, every time I go live in my car, something happens. So I probably just won't do that anymore because I can't even find the other video to see if anybody asked questions. Oh my God. Sorry guys. Okay. So I want to talk about a niche, and I'm going to kind of go over what I went over earlier because I can't find the video. So maybe you can't find the video and you need to hear that information. So I also, like I said earlier, I want to preface this with, okay, I want you to take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, okay? The car one did suck. I am so sorry. I will make sure I'm home next time. So I have been in business for 5 years, over 5 years now, and I have tried everything. So I want you to take what I'm saying with a grain of salt because it's important that you try everything. So preface, you joined Scentsy, super exciting, right? And you're like, okay, what's my thing, right? Like, what am I good at? Because you want this business to be fun. Like, that's the point. This business is not hard, right? It's not supposed to be super stressful. Everything has, you have bad days, right? But it's not hard, right? We're not rocket scientists, right? Like it's supposed to be fun, right? You're supposed to find joy in it. So I need to find things that bring me joy, and I need to experience different ways to work business so that I can understand what I am good at. What is my calling? Because Alexis's calling isn't going to be my calling. Jesse's calling isn't going to be my calling, right? Like, we're all good at different things, and that's the beauty of this business, okay? It must be your phone then, because I am on fiber. I should be good. Let me double check. Hey, Alexis, are you having problems with my streaming? Are you able to hear me good? Hear me well? Let me know before I keep going. This is my second time to try it, and I'm still not having any luck. I don't usually have problems when I'm home. If you're out and about, maybe it's your service. I don't know. Alexis says, no, you're completely fine. No lagging or anything. Okay, I'm gonna keep going, and then worst case, this will be on YouTube and you can watch it later, okay? So for me, I always joke, like, I am prom queen of the Antisocial Moms Club. Like, that's just who I am. I am like the most extroverted introvert you'll ever meet. So basically, I prefer to be home. I prefer to not necessarily be around a ton of people. But I know how to socialize. I know how to put a smile on, and I know how to share things. And that is my niche. My niche is social media. I know how to work social media. And you know why I know how to work social media? Because I Google it. I literally Google how to work social media, how to work Instagram, how to make a reel, how to share on my stories. All of those things are Googleable. Is that a word? Because I just made it one. If you are not constantly on Google and YouTube, you're not growing. If you watch my YouTube history, I've already watched 3 training videos this morning. Okay, 3 training videos. I am an open book full of knowledge, and I'm a sponge. I want to hear everything. I want to hear how people are working differently than me, how they're working similarly to me, what is not working from them. I want to hear people's whys, hear their story, all of the things. I am immersed in Scentsy. Scentsy is it's a huge part of my life, okay? So, with that being said, I have tried so many things, okay? I am addicted to bettering myself, and I am addicted to not feeling stuck, okay? So when people say, I'm going to turn the comments off so that I'm not distracted. But when people say like, I can't do this. Well, I want to know how much actual effort you're putting in, because if I can do it, you can do it. I promise. Like I on my life, I promise you. Okay. So for instance, in the beginning of my business, what skyrocketed my business, because Scentsy is an experience, right? Like when you smell something, ooh, this smells so good, guys. Like this smells like blueberry candy. My son is going to absolutely love this. When I wake him up in the morning, his room is going to be so fruity and fresh. This is like such a good spring, especially a kid scent. Like it smells like a blueberry slushy almost, right? That is so much more enticing because I'm sharing how I experienced this product than saying, hey, let me show you this flyer of the Aladdin bar. Like that, nobody gives a damn. Like no one gives a damn about your flyers, okay? I am going to be very honest with you. No one gives a damn about your flyers, right? All the flyers are just, it's excessive, okay? You need to be, also if you're not buying Scentsy, that's a great place to start. If you don't use Scentsy, how can you sell Scentsy? Like if you're not warming a few bars a week, if you're not cleaning your counters with Counter Clean, spraying your linens with Fabric Fresh, washing your laundry with Washer Whiffs, washing your dogs with Best Bud Suds, all of the things, how can you sell it? You got to think about that stuff. Are you trustable, right? Does your clientele trust you? Do you keep quitting and then like not trying anything new when you come back, and then like you're not doing anything different, but you're expecting different results? Those are things you have to get really personal with yourself. You have to do some deep reflection, okay? And there's going to be things that you don't like, okay? There's going to be things that you don't want to admit about yourself, y'all. There was a moment in time where I was lazy. I was like, I'm just stagnant. I'm only making 500 in sales. You know, I'm just not doing it. But guess what? I was spending like an hour a week on Scentsy stuff. Of course I wasn't making any sales. Of course, I wasn't showing that for my business. My mouth wasn't open. So you got to get really some deep reflection, okay? So with all that being said, I've tried all the things, okay? I've done the home parties. I've done the Facebook parties. I've done the events. I've done basket parties. I'm sure there are things I haven't done, but I've done a lot, okay? I have tried a lot of things, and therefore I know what I like, what brings me joy, what makes Scentsy fun for me, and what is income producing for me. So for me, I don't love home parties. That's not my thing. I don't want to go to people. Like, I definitely don't want people in my house because I'm very weird. I don't like anyone in my house. Like, my house is a safe zone of energy. I'm very weird about it, okay? But I don't really want to go to other people's houses either. So okay, well, if I don't like doing that, what am I going to do to substitute that missing link, okay? Because another side note, I'm a work from home mom. So one of my pet peeves are with people who say, well, you just have so much time to work Scentsy. Well, I do have so much time to work Scentsy, but that's a choice, right? Like it's a priority to me. So I make so much time to work Scentsy. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning every single day. Well, except Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday I wake up at 7. I go to bed early. Sometimes I go to bed super late to work on Scentsy, right? But I wake up I make my days longer so that I have more time to make time for things that are a priority to me, right? With that being said, on the other side of the knife, you don't need a ton of time to work Scentsy, right? Like if it's not your full-time career, then you don't need hours a day working it, right? You can totally find success working Scentsy 2 30-minute increments a day. Following up with your customers, that's the key, and that doesn't take long, right? Following up with your customers is the number one income producing activity that takes absolutely no brain power, okay? Especially if you have Maven, 30 minutes a day of follow-up, you will become successful, right? The things that take a lot of time are all the happy mail, all of the things, right? Like that That's why I always say bulk sample, bulk do your happy meal so that you don't have to sit at this table and spend your lunch hour doing these things. You just have to prioritize your time. You got to get good at time management, right? This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not a pyramid scheme. If you got into this business and you thought that all you had to do was post a link to your Facebook and you were going to make $100, $500, $1,000, $3,000, $5,000 in a month, because guess what? All of those things are real. Then I don't know who told you that, but that's not how it works, right? This is a you get what you put in type of thing. So I don't love to do home parties, so I don't do them. But I've got to find something that is going to help me network, because being a work-at-home mom, I'm not meeting new people. If you work outside of the home, you're already ahead of the game, because you know so many more people than my 2-year-old and my 5-year-old. They're not buying Scentsy from me. They're not buying Scentsy from me, okay? It puts you ahead of the game. So don't let your excuses, how about you let your excuses, I want to air quote excuse, because it's not an excuse. It is an excuse, but it's not, I don't want to say it's not valid, because everything is valid if you put enough thought to it, but it can have a solution, right? Don't let those hinder you. Let them become blessings. I used to say, well, I can't do events because my kids. That was an excuse. That was literally me making an excuse because I didn't really want to do the event because I was scared, right? I was letting my kids, which are my why, become my why not. That's not going to make me successful. So what I've learned is I don't like home parties. But if you like home parties, you should try one. And if you've never done a home party, don't tell me you don't like home parties, because you've never done one, right? Brittany is amazing. She finds so much success in home parties, and she's good at them, and she finds joy doing them. But I'm not Brittany, and Brittany's not me, right? So I don't mind Facebook parties. I don't really want to be spending 45 minutes on a Friday night going live for people, but I will. But what I have found is in the last year, post 2020, 2021, people are not Facebook partying as much, okay? 2020, 2021, whoa, everybody was Facebook partying because of quarantine, right? It makes sense. But they're kind of burnt out on it. My customers are. If you've never done a Facebook party, don't tell me you don't like Facebook parties, because you've never done one. So it goes back and forth, right? You've got to try the things before you can be like, that doesn't work for me. Bag parties, I can rock with some bag parties, right? The thing about bag parties though is I personally I actually was just talking to Megalyn about this. I don't put things in my bag parties that I expect back, right? Because like I am not going to be stopping by every day, babysitting them. Hey, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? I had one bad experience where someone wanted a bag party. It was I live in Katy, Texas, so it's hot 9 months out of the year. And I told her, it even had a big old cardboard thing on it. Don't leave this in your car. And she left it in her car, and all of my testers melted. So I have just learned that if I'm going to be offering a bag party to people, I'm not really going to expect those things back. So I have made them on a small scale, okay? So I've learned what didn't work for me, and I made a solution. I didn't say, I'm just not going to do that, like, ever again. That was a bad experience. No, that's not how that works either. So if I know, like, and trust the person that I'm giving a bag party to, I will put other things, like I'll put a mini warmer in there or a wall fan. And what I will say is, hey, when this party qualifies, right, you can keep it. Like, I don't care. You can keep it. And then what I'll do is if I want it back, I'll use that perpetual party ward to restock it for me, or I'll give the perpetual party ward to, if it's like a business, I will raffle that perpetual party reward off to everybody or it's like a mystery hostess pretty much. So if Sally, Mary, Amy, and Rachel all ordered from their teacher's lounge, well, I'm going to raffle that perpetual party off to one of those 4 ladies. Okay, does that make sense? So that works for me. That's a good way for me to find new people. But what I have found is, for me, everyone needs a niche, okay? And the niche gets kind of like scary sometimes, because for me at least, like, especially because I told you I'm very into social media and running my business via social media. Well, what you'll find is people with a large following, they only really post about like one thing, like one broad topic. But I'm so much more complex than that. Like, I don't want to be one thing. I want to be me. And I have like 10 different things that I love, like that I truly love. So I want to talk about all 10 of those things. So my niche is myself. That's my niche. I am so authentic and genuine in myself that I am my niche. People follow me to follow me. Not because of the cute sweaters I wear, not that I wear them, or because of the food that I make, or because of the Scentsy that I sell, or because of the gym selfies that I take. Not because of all those things. They follow me because of me, okay? Because I am my niche. So one thing that's been such a blessing that I've gained, like, and you know, it's easy to be like, oh, well, I don't have anything. I haven't earned anything. I haven't earned an incentive, a free trip. I haven't earned the free Apple cards. I haven't done that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, what have you done, right? One of the biggest blessings that Scentsy has given to me that's not monetary or tangible is confidence. I have become so insanely confident in myself and my abilities because of Scentsy, because of the 5 years of ups and downs that I have gone through, because of the people that I've lost and the people that I've gained, all of those things, you know, especially once you become a higher title. So I'm a star director. The highest title in Scentsy is a superstar director, and I am one promotion away. That will be my last promotion. So I am the top 0.2% of Scentsy. So out of, I want to say, hundreds of thousands of consultants, there's probably 500 or 600 star directors. So it's something to be proud of, right? Like, I'm proud of that. Like, I put that on my marketing because I'm proud of it. Okay. Not everybody does it. A lot of people quit before they could even get there. Everybody can do it, but not everybody wants it. Okay. So what I've learned is I am insanely focused and confident on being the best me that I can be. So with that being said, I have found things that I like, found things that I'm good at, right? So for a Facebook party, I would have to have 5 to 10 Facebook parties a month, which I should do that. I should always be going for that. And I am always going for that. But like I said, I'm moving a little bit off of it. I'm not just moving off of it and not doing anything else though. You know, don't get it twisted. So the average Facebook party has 5 to 10, the average qualifying Facebook party has 5 to 10 people who order off of it, okay? So that's 5 to 10 new recruits that are not recruits, new network prospects that I have found, right? That I will be able to follow up with, blah, 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 okay? So if we're going on the lower end, 5, I will have to have 10 Facebook parties to meet 50 new people, okay? 10. That's a lot. That's 10 days. And I like to run mine for a week, and then I'll go live periodically throughout it. And then at the end, I've been switching it up. So like I was doing it where I would post throughout the week, and then on Friday I would do a 30-minute live showing off my display. Okay, that worked. It worked, but it started not to work. Okay, so I'm like trying to, I don't know what my husband just sent me. I'm trying to find something new. So for instance, instead I started going live throughout the week, and that was a little less time consuming, but it was still time consuming. But I found that I didn't like spending 30 to 45 minutes on Friday nights going live. It's not that I didn't like doing that. I didn't like not having my Friday night with my husband. Okay. Because he works all week and Friday nights are time, right? So like it was a sacrifice, and all success takes sacrifice. But I was like, I wonder if I can find success equal or more doing something that isn't every Friday night. Okay. So that's when I started. So before, I always said no to events because I didn't want to pay the vendor fee. I didn't want to buy the table. I didn't want to get a tent. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to leave my kids, but I didn't want to take my kids. I got in my head about it. Now, Blue, shh, these damn dogs. Now I'm saying yes to everything, literally everything. And here's why. So for me, like I said, I'm the queen of the Antisocial Moms Club. But what I can do, I can fake it till I make it. Okay? I can put a smile on my face and be, hey girl, what's up? Oh. I can do that, especially if it's a day. I can do that all day for one day. I will be drained by the end of it, but I can do it. So for me, instead of having 10 Friday nights that I didn't get to spend with my husband, I say yes to one event. It's a tax write-off, right? I like to stay within like a $50 to $150 budget for vendor events. And the questions that I always ask before I sign the contract is, what's your expected turnout? Is it indoor or outdoor? I prefer indoor events because I sell wax and I live in Texas, okay? You do that, it makes sense, okay? And then also, is electricity extra? And what else? Oh, I told you, what's the expected turnout? So, I say yes to all the events, literally all of them, because I would rather spend one day away from my family and meet 50 people in one day than spend 50 or 10 Fridays meeting 5 people. Does that make sense? That works for me. Now, I don't want you to say that I don't want to do Facebook events because Marissa doesn't do Facebook. Well, I do them. I don't want to do home parties because Marissa does. Like, well, you're not Marissa, okay? What if you do a home party and it changes everything and you're so good at it? If you don't want to go to people's houses, invite them to yours, right? Like, stop getting in your own damn way. Like, your excuses are valid to a point until you let it literally run your life, okay? Everyone has excuses. Everybody. I love the people who tell me they're too busy. Okay. Oh, that's literally what I say. That's exactly how I say it too. I'm like, okay, whatever. Okay. You're too busy. You're too busy. There are people like, if you probably are too busy because you think you're too busy. You probably are too busy, right? Because you think you're bad at Facebook parties. You probably are bad at Facebook parties. Because you think you're not successful, because you think that Scentsy doesn't work for you, it probably doesn't work for you. Your mind is a very powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing. So I want you to dig deep. What brings you joy in Scentsy? What is your deeply rooted why? Also, if you don't have a deeply rooted why, you're never going to get anywhere in this business because there's going to be days that you're going to quit. There's going to be more people telling you that Scentsy doesn't work for them, that this is like blah, blah, blah. It's interesting because Scentsy doesn't work for you, but I know countless people that it's changed their life. So what's the underlying factor? It's not Scentsy. Scentsy is an opportunity. It's not a thing. It doesn't have legs. It doesn't have a brain, right? Like, Scentsy is not a thing. It can't not work. You cannot work Scentsy, or you can work Scentsy. But it's you. It's not Scentsy, right? And I mean that with like the most love in my heart. But you can't be a result of all of your bull-ish. Right? We all have bullshit. We all have bullshit. We all have it. I'm trying to be better about not saying bad words because I know that some of y'all are stay-at-home moms and maybe y'all don't cuss around your kids. So let's go over some comments. I try to pop y'all up so you don't have to stare at my double chin. Okay. Flyers are the worst thing you can do for your business. No, ma'am. Customers love real life. They do. And I mean, like, throw in a flyer every here now and there, right? Like, no big deal. But if you're only posting flyers, it just is like, doesn't really, like, people don't care. It makes people think that all you're doing is selling to them, right? Like, no, you've got to share. You've got to love. You've got to have passion, okay? Let's see. Events are so scary, but do it scared because they can be successful. Absolutely. And guess what? You're going to have events that suck. You literally are. I literally went live like 2 weeks ago and told y'all how I lost like $700 in an event. Okay. It's totally fine. I could have been like, events, F these kids who broke my diffusers. Like, I could have done so many things, but I didn't because I'm a business owner and my deeply rooted big picture of my life is so much more important than that one bad day, right? Like, seriously, it's weird. I just don't get it. So put it in this term. So say you have $1 million. Okay, actually, oh, how many seconds are in the day? Who has a phone on them? Oh, my computer's dead. No, it's not. Okay, I'm gonna put something in. I'm a numbers person, for instance. So when I hear numbers, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. All right, okay, Marissa. Okay, so let's see how many. And y'all, look at me Googling. It is so not hard. It's not hard. How many seconds are in a day? Okay, there are 86,400 seconds in a day. Okay, so I want you to put it like this. If you had $86,400 in your checkings account right now, like all your bills are paid, you're totally like all spending money, $86,400. And let's see, how many seconds are in an hour? 3,600 seconds in an hour. You had a bad hour, right? It's so easy when you have a whole day, right? Jeez Louise. It's so easy to be like, that was a bad hour. That was a bad hour. I'm so angry. I hate the world. I hate Scentsy. I hate Marissa. I can't believe she made me believe in myself. Did you know that I had a bad hour? It'd be ridiculous, right? Like you'd be like, but people do that. People let a bad hour ruin their whole day. Okay. If you had $86,000 in your checkings account right this second and 3,000 of them flew out the window, you would have how many seconds left? Let's do some math. Let's do some math. Okay, so we had $86,000 to start with. Well, 86,400. And you lost 3,600. You still have $82,000 and $800 in your account. Are you gonna be mad? Are you gonna be mad with $82,000 to spend? No, you're not. And if you are, I need you to take a vacation. I need you to take a deep breath. I need you to realize that you are here for more than being angry and sad and stuck all the time, all right? Those things are human feelings. They're valid, right? But they don't have to consume you, right? So if you lose an hour out of your day, don't let it ruin the whole day because you still have 82,000 seconds left to make it amazing, to make it so good. That's like 1/24 of the day that you're letting the rest of the 23/24 stem off of, right? Like just it doesn't have to be that way. So find what you like, try all the things. You can be good at a few things. You can be really good at a few things, but you can't be good at everything. But you can try everything to see what you're good at. So let me make sure. And events are scary and they are a risk because there's going to be things that don't, just like Facebook parties. Not every Facebook party is going to be qualifying, right? Not some bag parties, you're going to get shit that's missing. It's going to happen. It's what you do. It's how you react. That's going to propel you into the next chapter of your book, okay? People buy into you. Yep, they want to support you. Yep, that's the truth. That is literally the truth. What type of events do you find most successful for you? I find the most, get off of my couch. Lord have mercy, so sorry. I find that the most successful events that I do are school carnivals, okay? And then anything where people are expecting to shop. So fall fairs, winter fairs, Christmas fairs, all of those things. Fall and spring are my big, busy event areas. I don't do a ton of events in the summer, only because I live in Katy, Texas, and it's 115 degrees outside. And I mean, our wax melts at like 79 degrees. So I did find a solution to that, so I will show y'all what I end up doing if I do book some summer events. But another thing is you need to be looking for events super ahead of time. So those big events, those big craft fairs, those types of things, they're like, people are booking them a year in advance, especially the Christmas and the fall ones, okay? So like right now I'm looking at next December events, okay? Unless somebody comes up to me and is like, hey, I need a last minute Scentsy vendor, okay? Then obviously I'm gonna say yes. But if I'm looking for them, I'm looking like 6 months in advance, okay? So craft shows, school carnivals, the only ones that I don't think I don't want to say I'll say no to, but the ones that I find less success with are sports events, because people are going to watch the sports events. Gun shows, that's kind of a hard audience. Bridal shows are a hard audience because people just expect to be given stuff there. They're like there to, you know what I'm saying? But the best ones are home and garden shows, craft shows, school carnivals, things like that. I was offered a different type of event and I'm nervous. It's at our biggest mall in the area for a Mother's Day market. It's $75 for an 8x10 spot. I've only done little craft shows. Say yes. $75 is not a bad price. Not at all. That is not a bad price. I would ask, is it indoor or outdoor, right? Because if it's outdoor 8x10, I would see if you can get a 10x10 spot so that you can get a 10x10 tent. But if it's indoors, cool. What else? And another thing about events is that most of the stuff that you buy, like, it's going to last you a long time. So like you get tables, they last you for, you know, it's an investment, but it's going to last you for forever until the table breaks, right? Your tent's going to last you forever. Like your props are going to last you forever. And speaking of props, you don't even need props. Like use the Scentsy boxes, use the whiff boxes, let the Scentsy be your decorations, right? I have an event this Saturday and I will show y'all what I end up doing. I'll go live. But I say yes. Like, why not? Why not, right? Worst case, you got a tax write-off. Also, events are for networking and not necessarily selling. Selling is just a huge extra. But that's why that's what I found that I like my niche. My niche is social media and events. Those are the two things that I find the most joy in. Those are the two things that take me away the least. Does that make sense? It's indoor down the aisles of the mall, and the next biggest spot is 175. It's a 10x10. I would just see what your budget allows, honestly. Ask them, just ask them the questions I just told you and just use your intuition, right? But I would definitely say yes. I would also consider how much inventory you have, or you can accumulate by then to see how big of a space you need. But the bigger the space, the better, I think. But 175 is pretty steep, so I don't know why they would add $100 for 2x2. Yeah, that makes sense. But I don't run the event either. So ask the questions, but say yes. That's great. That's a great opportunity. And like things like that is a hit or miss. Like Mother's Day is a hit or miss. Like you're either going to have people who are not shopping, or you're going to have people that are shopping, like shopping hard. So go in with it. I know you'll go in with an open mind. But that is what I wanted to talk about. Get really good at self-reflecting. Get really good at always improving yourself. Get really good at watching YouTube. Y'all, I have so many YouTube videos. It's so funny because we have like 100. They just started canceling people again. So we were at like 200, and I think we're at like 160 now of people in our group. We have 160 people in our group. All of my YouTube videos, I have 115 subscribers. So like, I just like, and a lot of my subscribers are not in our group. They're from other groups who I have introduced myself to. So it's just like, I mean, the information is there, right? You can't say Scentsy doesn't work if you haven't engulfed yourself in Scentsy knowledge and experience. So that's step one. Get really good and familiar with the product. Start ordering the product, using the product, and sharing the product. You'll never be successful just sharing a Facebook link. Never. That's not how it works. And I mean that with so much love. And, I used to laugh at it, but now I'm just like, yeah, no, it's just not how it works. So I love you guys. Have an amazing day. And if you've not checked out my YouTube, that's a great place to start too. So have an amazing day.